Beautiful night in Los Angeles. Pac-12 volleyball presented by Tachikara. And we welcome you inside the Galen Center, where tonight is USC taking on Utah. The Utes, a very tough loss last night against UCLA. Check the standings, and both these teams have designs on moving up, no doubt about it. USC, well, they were pretty close getting to 1-4 themselves last night, but survived against Colorado. Welcome once again, along with Kevin Wong. I'm Josh Lewis. Very nice to have you here. And if you're USC, you're very appreciative that Samantha Bricio was on your team.
Bricio, the best server in the Pac-12 conference, an all-around all-star. Things were looking bleak for USC last night, but staring down the opposition and serving up aces at will. Turned on the gas pedal, the all-around game in the front, the kills, in the back with the digs. Bricio's the real deal.
Utah doesn't really have anybody to conserve like that, but what does Utah have that you like?
They've got a senior leader in Shelby Dalton coming off her best match of her career last night. 18 kills, hitting over 400. More importantly for Utah, she is the defensive stopper who's going to be tapped in the front with a matchup against the star Samantha Bricio.
Utah 1-4 in Pac-12 play, but feels like they could be a lot better than that. They're taking on a very talented USC team tonight. We've got the match beginning for you right after this.
Excites.
12 women's volleyball presented by Tachikara. We've got the ball, you bring the game. Hooray for Pac-12 women's volleyball. We've got your starting lineup presented by Tachikara right now in Utah, a team that is 1-4 in conference, but really battling all the way. Carly Truman, an interesting story, a redshirt freshman. We'll talk a lot about her tonight. On the USC side of things, boy, take your pick, Kevin. There's tons of ways you can go here to talk about what USC can do, but it's appropriate that Samantha Bricio is the first name that you see.
Right. Coming off maybe their best offensive top-to-bottom performance USC is. Meanwhile, you talked about it, Utah seemingly just banging their head against the wall time after time after time.
USC getting a 3-set sweep last night, but it didn't come that easily against Colorado. Mick Haley's the head coach, 71 years old, his 14th year at USC now, after 17 years at Texas. There you see Mick, he was a setter under the legendary Don Shondell at Ball State back in the 60s. And on the other side of things tonight, in her 25th year at Utah now, Beth Lanier has taken the Utes to the NCAA tournament 11 times.
Coming off a great year, one of the 9 teams from the Pac-12 making the NCAA tournament last year. Utah in for the first time since they were entered into the Pac-12 conference just 3 years ago.
She inherited a program that in 1989 went 1-32. 4 years later, they were 25-11, and onward and upward from there. Now, Lauren Gillis will start out on the back line. We'll see Bricio before too long, and that's the key to everything again is what USC can do with Bricio. One win for Utah against USC. That's it.
Tell you, looking at the way the lineups are coming here, Mick Haley doing a little gamemanship. We thought we would see the Bricio versus Dalton matchup. The way he spun it back a few rotations, it's actually going to be Bricio versus the freshman Adora Anai.
And Schofield Olsen with that serve for Utah. Pounded down. And you see Alicia Ogums, the junior from Winnipeg, the Canadian, getting it done.
And she had a very nice performance last night. Hit 4 kills, over 429, and also had 3 blocks as well. Complete game.
And Taylor Whittingham serves the libero. That's a pretty good put away by Adora Anai. You know her pretty well from back in Hawaii.
I've been following her since 9th grade. We've been doing television broadcasts in Hawaii, and you could always see her potential. The big, long legs, the long arms, and that golden arm swing.
She's just a freshman. There's Bricio. Whittingham digs. Emily Young with that left-handed kill attempt. Whittingham saves it. Young delivers.
Wow, Young, a creative swing, wasn't really ready for that set. Reason why, she didn't think Whittingham would get that dig, but how good has this libero been? See her really scooting out to the approach. Didn't get a full approach, had to do an inside-out approach. Had a very good night last night, Young did.
Haley Crone from the back line now. Whittingham keeps it alive. Boy, and they're returning on Bricio early. Crone sets it up. Bonabu could not supply the kill shot. Well, Utah will get point here. A nice start for the Utes.
Yeah, we talked about should be Dalton having 18 kills. You see the switch now. Adora Anai going out, Dalton moving in, but Adora Anai also had 18 kills as well. A lot of offense for Utah coming from that right side.
Kendall Segan from Orange, California to serve it out for Utah. A little sloppy off the jump here from USC, but they were competitive here, getting it towards the back line, but as it flies away, Utah goes up 4-2.
USC's got to be very careful. This is the similar kind of energy and the similar kind of stuff they had last night.
Well, when in doubt, you go to Bricio.
Just so smooth, and she's going against two of the better blockers from Utah, two of the better blockers from the conference, and just in system, nice and smooth, hits that hot seam.
And here's where USC can go on a run when Bricio is back there to serve. Yeah.
On cue, the reason why this serve is such a special serve, you don't see anything like it. She does not hit a true flow. She does not hit a true top spin. It's right in the middle, and it's absolutely befuddled for opposing passers.
Maybe Micah Hancock of Penn State can give her run nationally. But in this conference, though, I mean, it's all Bricio from that back line.
You talk about Micah Hancock, and Micah Hancock's a lefty, Bricio's a righty. What they have in common is they have very different forms from their very different positions.
Coming up on 50 service aces already this year is Bricio. Utah's got 55 as a team. Whittingham puts it up. Gillis smacks it. Good block. Now is Schreier. Haley Crone puts it up there. And some miscommunication. Utah gives up a point.
Give a little perspective about the nearly 50 aces from Bricio. The next person on the team has 6 aces.
You're right about that. Eye of the Tiger from the back line. Ojo del Tigre. And she's done it again.
Really is amazing. You know, talking to the Colorado coaching staff before the match last night, they said, we don't think she's hitting her A game on her serve, but little did they know they were surprised, and really the story of the match.
Well, Utah's got to breathe here to talk about how to deal with Bricio. It's 7-4 USC. Well, as Samantha Bricio continues to take over, 4 points already, 3 service aces, and there's her difference in the game right now. It's 7-4 USC.
Last night was a historic night for us as well. She surpassed the career record for USC aces.
And she's very close now to a Pac-12 record, about 20 away. We were joking yesterday she might have that by Halloween, the way she's going, but no question, one of the best serves in the sport. Threat for an ace every time, although against UCLA a couple weeks ago, not a single one. It's almost like she's making up for lost time this weekend.
Really take a look at her as we have a little delay waiting for the referees to get going, but take the full look, watch the routine, watch her do the stare down as well, and then full speed ahead.
Bricio with 4 service aces.
You look at the pantheon of the great players who ever play this sport. April Ross and Nancy Hillman are on that, and last year her 85 aces in a single season crushed the previous record of 59 by those two.
You just wonder how high she can fly tonight. Talking about 5 out of 9 points now. And service aces for Bricio.
Right, and at this point, it's a mental game. And you're seeing Utah going with 4 passers in the back. The other adjustment they needed, because instead of treating it like a pass, treat it like a spike and just pop it up in the center of the court.
Her career high is 7. That was against Utah a couple of years ago. And she's almost there now.
And at will, picking her targets. Shelby Dalton, not a normal passer, goes back in to pass. And at will, able to find the target.
Oh, you're looking at a history here. This is remarkable. Well, they finally have an answer for that serve, at least for now. But Wanaboo with a big hit.
Wow.
That's a great save, huh? Fair put it up there. Bricio goes a nest that time. Long, and USC will run right now.
Whittingham once again. We see Bricio, who has been the story, but Whittingham, that supporting role, filling the role of Natalie Hagelin, the libero of the year, graduated last year from USC.
It's a 9-0 run with Bricio serving right now.
And that's the play that Utah's got to do. They're not going to get a perfect pass. Just pop it up in the center of the court. I don't care if you have to bump it outside, but get a good swing, and Shelby Dalton making the most of that opportunity.
Dalton's going to turn 22 next week. She's a senior leader in every respect for Utah. That one scraped the net from Schofield Olsen. Pounded down Lauren Gillis, the freshman.
Got a really good look at what she is going to be. She has all the physicality. She's got the passing chops as well. Facing the angle, turning it back to the very sophisticated play.
Hannah Schreier. A block by Wanaboo. It goes. USC continues a torrid run here. Remember, they were down 4-2.
And really, Ebony Wanaboo, how she goes and how she improves will be really how USC and how far they can go this year. Coming off the back injury this past summer, fractured it, was in a brace for 3 months.
That's a great hit by Shelby Dalton. She had 9 kills in the first set last night, and 18 total for the match. One off of her career high. Tough loss for Utah last night up in Malibu. And the kill shot right there from Chelsea Schofield Olsen.
Tough serve from Leah Adolph. She has done a great job of stepping to the starting libero role for Utah. Was defensive specialist last year, but is really grown into this new role this year.
Deals it into net.
You know, you talk about Utah and all their struggles. They're 1-4 in conference, but if you start looking at all the 5th set matches they've had, losing 15-13, 15-13, 15-12, they're a few points away from really being one of the top 4 teams in the conference.
Wanaboo, just sophomore. Last year's Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. Emily Young puts it up high. Good block, but out of bounds to USC. 15-7. The Trojans on top of Utah. And the game has started. A set that started 4-2. Knock out of bounds, and Utah up against a foe like this tonight. I guess Kevin really can't be wide on something like that too often.
Right, Mauricio's just given the cushion that USC needs. They can relax now, they can play their game, they don't have to force, and that's exactly what Coach Mick Haley said his team needed to do.
Onabu strafed that one over. That one out of bounds. So again, Utah's close, but missing the line, both on the side and at the back end.
You know, the last couple plays, you see USC on a roll. The offense is going, the defense is going as well. On the Utah side, the set location just isn't there. They're passing very good. Coach Bethlehem said that's one of our strengths this year, but the setting, that was a little tight. The one on the play before was a little bit low. It's not giving the hitters all the options they should have.
Talked about last night, and Utah hanging right in there, but boy, right at the end, getting away against a very good UCLA team.
You know, and talking to Coach Lanier, it's hard for not to get frustrated, but I'm really amazed at the optimism she's got. She knows how hard this Pac-12 conference is, and she said if I dwelt on the results, the wins and the losses, it would really make coaching in the conference nearly impossible.
USC, meantime, able to sweep its way past Colorado, but having to really kind of turn it on at the end of each of those sets to make it so.
Really the difference maker, Mauricio. Time and time again, the first set specifically, USC was in a lot of trouble. 16-13 down late at the end of the first set. Mauricio stared down Colorado Buffaloes and made them pay.
Mauricio had a season high, Kevin, of 6 service aces this year. That's for a match. She had 6 in the back line to start the night tonight.
Right, and if you're Pac-12 conference coaches, you are not happy because all of a sudden the best defensive weapon for USC is starting to get even better.
6 aces. And at one point, that was out of 10 points for USC. They're at 17 right now. I mean, that's just unheard of. Mentioned Utah doesn't really have anybody from the back line like that can get that done. There's Odoms right up front, middle blocker.
And really something that USC needs to get better at throughout the year. The serving's there, the setting, defense as well, but blocking hasn't been up to par this year so far.
Onabu, Volleyball Magazine's National Freshman of the Year last year. And everything's coming up roses here for the Trojans right now.
And another thing that we talked to both coaches about, the fatigue factor. You know, you have a Utah team that had a battle last night, 5 sets, 8 p.m. start time. Really, maybe we're seeing the effects of that here today.
That one barely over the net at a sharp angle. Gillis had it blocked down, so Utah gets the point there.
And really the strength of Utah is their block at the net. Dalton coming off the court, but Bateman, Dalton, 2 of the better blockers for Utah. The way that they typically will score points against opposition.
It's been that way for a long time, right? I mean, it's not
block
a
you,
right? And it's not like they go 6-3 to 6-5 up front, not even close.
No, I think it's the way they teach it. Bethlehem, known for teaching blocking. It's a lot of eye work, a lot of vision, a lot of scouting tendencies as well. And what's not in the scouting tendency is how much USC's been setting the middle in this first set.
And Ogum, by the way, 3 kills and 3 attempts. So hitting a perfect 1,000 in this first set. Feathered down, nicely done. And the point to Utah.
Another low set from the Utah setting crew. Bateman making him pay with the creative dink shot.
USC was on 18-4 run before that last shot went down. Emily Young gets credit for that put away. She was spectacular last night. She was 7 of 11 on kill last night.
And then the end of the match set duty that we hadn't expected. She got 3 assists there in crunch time at the end.
Whittingham, and that one's not going to count. They'll have her do it again.
Giving Beth Lanier a yellow card for late substitution.
Well, just trying to make something work here. They're in danger of being held into the single digits in this opening set. Good dig by Gillis. Boy, you just can't say enough about Bricio, huh?
She's just so smooth, and she's not even in her top gear right now. She's in about 4th gear. She may have 6.
You know, she started kind of slowly last night, too. Told us, of all things, she was nervous at the start of the match. That's a good swat by Bailey Bateman.
That's an interesting story. They retired the number 7, Bibiana Candelas, one of the legendary All-Star USC program players. And that was actually a hero, a good friend of the family of the Bricios.
Right, so knowing that she was there watching last night. It was a slow start. It is the exact opposite of that for Bricio tonight. She and Gillis both have been great.
And Gillis is so impressive on all the stuff in the backcourt, the digging, the passing. You're not supposed to be that good of an all-around ball control player at freshman.
Remember, Utah last night traded pace all evening with the number 17 Bruins of UCLA. Took the 5 sets. But it's just too much Bricio here at the Galen Center tonight. There's another put away.
And we were asking Nick Haley to compare Whittingham and Hagelin. He says, you know, no one's going to be Natalie Hagelin, but they have some similar stories. They were both outside hitters on junior national championship teams.
9 points in the first set for Bricio. Carved right out of the net. And Utah not quite done yet here in this first set.
Utah setters getting it a little bit closer, finding that target a little bit better. Still could be a little bit taller.
Kendall Segan to hit away here for the Utes. Good dig. That goes to Utah.
Another good dig from Whittingham. Number 4 in the Pac-12 in digging. Got a lot of quality minutes last year as a defensive specialist, and now getting used to that transition to the libero role here for USC.
Well, she's going and getting it with abandon in that role. Utah trying to somehow fight back in it here.
And that's what they do well. They see that USC using a trick offense. They got all their hitters stacked on that left side, so they're just coming in waves, and Utah knowing their assignments and sticking with them.
Here's Segan again. Whittingham again is equal to it. That comes towards us. And Utah would last 4 points now.
Interesting. They're bringing in Emily Young to set the end of this first set. Hasn't been a setter through college. Played some setter back in high school. Got some practice with it last night.
Kind of from out of nowhere, but it worked. Bricio gives the first set to USC. That's completely appropriate that it would be she that gets that done. 10 points in the first set. The amazing Samantha Bricio has USC on top of Utah.
The Pac-12 is backed by Allstate. Click or call.
The Samantha Bricio Show continues to play here at the Gellin Center. 25-14 the final in set one, Kevin Wong. And you could do many, many things wrong and still be having a great night. Here's Samantha Bricio.
Bricio is doing everything right. You see the offense for Utah. When they get a pass and set there, they're very effective. But on the other side, how do you stop Samantha Bricio? They are not passing. They're not blocking like they normally do. USC running whatever they want at any time. Really, it starts at it's real simple in volleyball. The first contact's the first contact. You got to take the pass, pop it up in the air, bring it off the net. Whatever you do, make sure you control that first pass. Then the setters, they got to pick up their quality, because when the location has been on for the setters, the Utah hitters have actually been doing a good job. You've got Adora Nye hitting for good numbers. You've got Shelby Dalton hitting for good numbers.
Well, 6 aces in that first set is pretty much as close to history as you're going to find, because again, her career best in a match is 7. You're talking about 6 of the first 10 points of the first set for USC on the service aces from Bricio. She's only 19 years old. That's scary to think as she continues to mature. It might even get a little more challenging for the opposition. That's Callie Kirby with the serve. And right away, USC, the first point to hit 2.
And we talked about how the matchup at first set was not good for Utah. The matchup here in the second set is exactly what Coach Beth Lanier wants. She's got Dalton versus Bricio in the front row.
Willa sure floats it high, doesn't she, before she gets rid of it?
You know, and that's just mental issues. That is not a tough serve. That's a pretty easy topspin serve. Gillis doing a lot of good things. Serving's not necessarily one of them this year, but got to take care of that.
Gillis, the last player to lead the women of Troy in kills besides Bricio. She had 13 in a 3-set sweep in Maryland about 4 weeks back. Like her coach, a native of Indiana. She's from Newcastle, Indiana. That one's too strong.
You really get the idea. Utah's got to have a better start here in set number 2. They've got to have a little Bricio cushion, so when that Bricio turns it on, they got a little armor going there.
Chelsea Schofield Olsen, her husband, is a center on the Utah Runnin' Utes basketball team. And in fact, Valentine's Day of this past year, well, hubby was right here at Breslin Center putting up 8 points and getting 3 rebounds. Happy Valentine's Day. Young had it swatted right back. Well, there's Shelby Dalton trying to strong arm it for Utah. But USC will get the point and get Whittingham back to the line to serve. Does Dalton run risk, Kevin, of trying to do too much tonight? Or her teammates trustworthy enough to fan it out?
I think that Utah trying to find someone who can do the job. They really have had a loss of leadership. They graduated Odell last year. They graduated Redmond as well. And just trying to find that answer is Utah. Who takes the swing at 24-23?
Right. They had to replace Aaron Red Brandon, led the team in block, was second in kills from a year ago. Young too strong.
We saw a little bit of this yesterday from USC, a little bit of a lackadaisical energy after a very hot start. And I don't know if they're good enough to be doing that.
That was Bateman with serve. And Bricio hammers down another.
Such a luxury for Coach Mick Haley to know who will get swing for USC at 20-23 and at 4-4 and nearly any time they are in trouble.
Well, UCLA and the University of Washington have had a lock the last few weeks on the Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Week. either Carcelo or Vista Van Zandt, but Samantha Bricio might be a force to be reckoned with. That one was right on the net.
Coach, referee Larry Schwartz asking if there was a touch, and the lines person helping out saying no touch. Utah point.
You see Haley Crone, she had that nosebleed and all nosebleeds last night when Taylor Simpson hit one real hard. Crone sets up, and Gillis knocked it a little too strong.
And Utah starting to put some pressure on the service line as well. They're not getting the flat-out aces like Bricio has been, but they're getting trouble passes. And we combine that with their block, it's very effective.
Kendall Segan, she of the career 300 hitting percentage. Blocked down, I tell you, USC not known for its blocking. This weekend anyway, Kevin looked pretty strong in that department.
When they have time, they have the size. You see the footwork, perfect timing. You know, I was watching Adora Nye in warm-up. She looked a little tired. Maybe the effects of late night last night. Lots of commuting back from Malibu. Really start wondering if that is affecting this Utah team here tonight.
Bricio, number 7. And we are early in the second set, so pull up chair and get nice and comfortable and see exactly how high Bricio can fly tonight.
And you see Utah 4 across. That's a very rare pattern. Shows you how much respect they have for Bricio.
Again, Bricio had 6 aces in the first set. Wannabu drops it down.
You know, at this point, it's not even the serve that's giving them trouble. It's the idea of the serve. It's such a mental game.
Yeah.
You look at, they pop up hits that have so much more pace, moving so much faster. This serve should not be this difficult.
Blocked out of bounds, so Utah will steal it away from Bricio. And I would think that that's right there, just a psychological jump.
Right, there's just a collective deep breath from the whole Utah bench on that play.
Mackenzie Oiai. Wannabu knocks it right on down. She's starting to get a little stronger. Again, the stress fracture that she had playing with the U.S. team this summer. Month and a half in a brace. It's a lot to battle back from. USC took the first at 25-14.
Wow.
Nicely played. Now Utah will end up with the point anyway.
We talked about USC, talking about Wannabu. Right now, USC's offense has been struggling. They're at number 9, and we're talking to Coach Tim Nolan, the assistant coach, and he said in his 8 years that they've been at the program, that's the lowest it's been ever. But he said, you know what, I can see us improving every week, and a lot of that is Wannabu.
Utah keeps it close, ties the second set at 9. And they've got Leah Adolph doing the serving right now. The import from Germany. She had a season-best 21 digs last weekend in the Utes win against Arizona State. The USC will grab it back here.
Bateman's got it a little bit longer. That ball's going over the net, but jumping the gun. Got to let it cross the plane of the net before you attack it. You know, Nwanabu's serve's been looking tough. She's got really flat jump floater. It's been giving Utah a lot of trouble.
The arm is still there. The legs are just slow to come back. Well, Utah strong at the net with Adora Nye.
Her arm swing's such a special thing. We saw the craw court, which is her favorite shot, but that time turning it down the line as well. Got the vision, got the arm swing.
Callie Kirby transferred from Northern Arizona. will set it up now. She was a club teammate of Bailey Bateman's. Bricio. Just because.
And this is the play that you're not seeing very much around the female game. It's called the BIC. It's the back row quick. Something that's really taking storm internationally, but you're starting to see USC do it here on the domestic side as well.
Now Utah lets that one fly away, so USC able to capture a 2-point lead here.
And just a tired pass from Mo'ai. Yeah. Very good passer, but just not moving those feet. And you see Utah staying in this full-person passing pattern as well.
They had to hustle to get Emery Schmidt on the court.
Utah shifting now back to the three-person passing.
Schmidt, a sophomore, native Californian. Whittingham digs it. And Bricio smokes it.
And again, Utah getting the pass, but the set's not high enough. They've got very athletic middles, big jumps. Truman is a big jumper as well. You've got to set big jumpers up high where they can get it.
8 kills and 7 aces for Bricio so far. Well, those are end of match numbers. Net play very strong this weekend from USC. Well, that's Bricio again. And Oldham's there as well.
And you know, it brings up a conversation we had with Mick Haley about the golden goose. You know, we talked about Samantha Bricio being the golden goose, and we want to make sure that we don't kill her because she's laying a lot of eggs right now. You know, so much is about game management. Make sure they're not putting too much of a burden, because he saw what happened with Ebony Nwanabu this past summer when he was with the national team and how much of a burden she had there.
Bricio right now has more than twice as many points as any of her teammates. That is carrying a lot of the mail. A lot of floor burns here from USC. That was Schmidt. That one teetered on top of the net, but Schofield Olsen able to drop it over eventually.
And this is a really key time for Utah. Got to start making a push, because when you start losing too many in the set, close sets, you want to have that cushion. Like that serve.
Ooh, Bricio going finesse that time. Another dive from Schmidt.
Good high set in the middle, the best connection for Utah. I like this short serve that Schofield Olsen just served, because it makes Bricio go up pass, makes her approach much more difficult, and really hindered her offensively.
Oh, Bricio. Just when you think he's going to absolutely stud it. Well, instead, just a little feather over top of that net to make it 15-13 in the second set for USC. Well, as USC took it to Colorado yesterday, the Buffaloes hit just 191. Utah's at 192 a night later, and trailing here was 1-0 into the second set. Bricio was let out here to gain the lead in the second set as well. Bricio has 7 service aces already. Amazing. She's got 10 kills. She's got 17 out of the 35 points right now. But Utah's not going anywhere. Bailey Bateman.
Bateman, a very experienced middle blocker, the emotional leader on this team as well. Her offense really picking up in this, her senior year.
Yeah, she's a little faster of a middle, right, than Utah's traditionally had.
They got 2 athletic middles this year. you're seeing USC causing all sorts of trouble for Utah. They're running the rip inside the block, and the blockers are not adjusting, not moving their feet in, watching the ball too much, not watching the hitter.
Haley Crone will go and serve it now with USC up 2. It was almost like Dalton didn't even know she had that point for Utah. Her back was to the net, but it fell down to make it a 16-15 set.
Utah, sophisticated offense as well. They go with the back one from the right side. Don't see that very much, and USC is surprised.
Kendall Segan to serve it again. Bricio looking for that hole, couldn't quite drop it down there. Nwanobu found space.
And we're starting to see Nwanobu turn it on. We saw okay production from her last night, and another 2 steps tonight. She didn't have that sort of trajectory last night.
Well, she's hitting .333 tonight. Bricio's hitting .588. Like it's no big deal. Anai sets it up. Whittingham's been solid as that libero. USC, another point.
Coach Mick Haley off the bench, giving Bricio a round of applause. This is the important rotation for Utah. You have to fight this off. Not going to be easy.
Only 1 win for Utah ever against USC. The put away for Gillis. Numbers 2 and 3 in your game program, Bricio and Gillis, having quite a night. And Utah wants to talk it over. They're in danger now of falling behind 2-0.
Talk about the 2 outside hitters for USC. We've talked a lot about Bricio. Gillis, we've seen that line shot a couple of times when the block is moved to inside on her favorite angle shot, able to see it and turn it down the line.
Well, when we talk about Bricio, we're talking about one of the most incredible serves in the country, that we know.
And what makes it special, she's got her own start. She will stare you down. She's got her own trajectory, and she's got this laser beam precision, able to find all the spots on the court. We've seen it a few times. They've brought in Dalton, who's not a primary passer. She's hit her right off the bat. They shifted off the line. She's hit the line right off the bat. Has an ability to mix the power and speed with the precision that is so unique.
USC's got 11 aces in this match. It's 1 for Utah, and again, 7 of those 11 for USC are from Samantha Bricio. If you're wondering, 12 is the all-time record for one player in one match. Bricio had a half a dozen through 1 set, and actually, as we talked about it, through 1 turn on that back line.
Right, you almost get the feeling that USC's winning this too easily to really give her a chance to go into 4th and 5th sets where she gets more opportunities. It would be nearly impossible to break the ace record in only 3 straight sets.
But just to sniff it is, I mean,
right.
the fact that we're talking about it is amazing. Well, now she can really rock and roll here, up 19-15 and coming off the timeout. Yes, sir.
And you just don't see that happen. That ball may have been 10 feet out of bounds, but just catching Schofield Olsen on the way out. Back and 4-person serve receive is Utah.
Averaging 4 aces per set. Nwanobu couldn't put it away. And Utah concedes here. Again, I would think just the psychology of it has got to be, if you're Utah, please don't let Bricio have possession of that ball.
Right, and it's not just the passers. Even Kendall Segan, who's a very experienced high-level setter, she just watched that ball drop on the last play. Wow.
It goes to that far side and just missed. But boy, that had some mustard on that too, didn't it?
It's like the split finger fastball. It doesn't have a true spin. It's not reproducible very often. Very unique and giving Utah a ton of trouble.
And Gillis with a missed hit right there. So USC had Bricio at the back line, up 21-16, actually 21-15. And then you give Utah the thought that, okay, maybe we can work this out. Or not. Mackenzie Moiai, whose mom played volleyball at Utah, dad at BYU. Three points away from a two-set leader for USC. Kept alive, but that's 3 hits. And that's a little closer for USC now to set number 2.
Tess Sutton, good scramble in the back row. She was a libero last year. Very good numbers in defense so far this year.
And now Hannah Schreier from Arcadia, California. That one got knuckled over. And USC ends up with that one too. 24-17 in the second set. And it's Schreier, not Bricio, who can put it away. Utah will take that point. But again, nobody really in their lineup, right, Kevin, who can do what Bricio can do, just get to that back line and serve up 4 or 5 winners in a row.
There's only one person in the nation who can do what Bricio can do, and her name is Micah Hancock, and she won the national championship last year.
Wanaboo could not get it in.
And Utah actually doing a good job of scoring points tonight. The defense is very sound. It's the offense that has been having all sorts of struggles.
Good recovery. And here's Utah back to within 24-20.
And Mick Haley not happy about that. Said we could have done a lot better on defense. You see him maybe showing the most emotion of the night so far, even though his team has a 4-point lead.
Had a chance to put it away, couldn't do it. No, the put away. Wanaboo makes it a 25-20 winner in set number 2 for USC. Wasn't all Bricio, but it was mostly Bricio.
Wanaboo having such a match tonight. Her numbers off the charts. 8 kills, hitting over 400. Looking at the whole offense for USC, you know, this was a big, important homestand. 4 matches in a row. Started last night versus Colorado, and you almost got the feeling from Coach Mick Haley that these were must-win situations.
Utah at 1-4 coming in, but so close to being 4-1 instead of 1-4. And Coach Lanier joins us right now. And, you know, just before we even look back, Coach, let's talk about trying to figure out Bricio tonight. Yeah. She's just something.
I think we figured her out her entire career. We've never passed very well against her, so tonight's not that different. So, yeah, we're struggling with it for sure.
You're the one to make excuses, but talk about the challenges of getting back up after a late night last night.
You know, Scott, you can't talk about that. I mean, you got to be a competitor and come in and be ready to go. And I think we're doing some okay stuff, but definitely struggling in some areas for sure.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck to 3.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Beth Neer in her 25th year. Don't know if she's ever seen a run like this from Samantha Bricio tonight. She had 6 aces in the first set alone. She's carrying USC tonight.
Welcome inside our San Francisco studios. I'm Ashley Adamson with this Oct 12 intermission report. We'll get you back to Josh Lewin and Kevin Wong in Los Angeles shortly. But first, in case you missed it, the top three teams of conference standings all in action last night. Let's begin in Tucson, Arizona, hosting Stanford at the McHale Center. Set point for the Cardinal in the first. Arizona with the big dig, but redshirt freshman Moretta Lutz there for the kill. Stanford takes set one, 25-23. Let's move ahead to the first set, and it's match point for the Cardinal. Jordan Burgess able to finish this one off. She had a career high with 19 kills. And number one Stanford tops Arizona Cardinal, now 15-0, 5-0 in conference play. Meanwhile, up the road in Tempe, number 18 Arizona State hosting Cal. First set, Bears up 24-23. Christina Higgins with the nice touch there. She led Cal with 18 kills. Bears take the first set. They're thinking upset, but ASU comes back to take sets 2 and 3. And with match point for the Sun Devils in the fourth, that's Mercedes Benz with the match winner. ASU beats Cal 3-1. They are now 13-4 on the year. So ASU and Stanford back in action tomorrow morning right here on the Pac-12 networks. As you can see, we've got a full slate of Sunday action on tap for you. For details, head to pac-12.com. Right now, you're watching Pac-12 Women's Volleyball. We'll get back to your match shortly, but first, sit tight for your sports report update. Ashley Adamson back here with your sports report update. Plenty to talk about with our football guru, Glenn Parker, coming up on Monday night's show. The marquee matchup in the Pac-12 this week, taking place in Pasadena and featuring a couple of Heisman hopefuls. 18th ranked UCLA hosting number 12 Oregon. Both teams coming off tough home losses. Second quarter, Ducks up 5. Marcus Mariota hits Thomas Steiner on the screen. He's in for a 21-yard strike. Ducks up 15-3. Following that touchdown, a tense moment on the sideline between Jim Mora and his defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich. Ulbrich looking to hand over his play sheet. UCLA defense gave up 468 yards on the day, including this one. When it's your day, it is your day. Mariota drops the ball, recovers. He threw for 210, ran for 75, 4 total touchdowns. Royce Freeman, that's his second touchdown of the day. Oregon beats UCLA for the 6th straight time, 42-30 final. Monday on Sports Report, we'll break down the implications from that game, as well as all your other Week 7 action. Quick reminder, we're on late this week, 9 p.m. Pacific, right here on Pac-12 Networks. That's all the time we have. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your match.
USC leading Utah 2-0. Mick Haley, the coach of USC, joins us right now. Mick, you ever seen 8 service aces through 2 sets? That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, Sam's got going tonight. She's got a knuckleball, and then she gets it to break, and then it does a couple of other things. So she's really been serving well.
And yet you still have a lot of energy on the sideline. It seems like you want to make sure, what are you trying to do?
And just not lose focus.
And the rest of your team tonight, I mean, we don't want to make it all Samantha Bricio. Who else has stepped up in your opinion tonight?
Well, I think Wanabu is playing better and better. She's got a little extra skip in her step, and she's doing a lot of things very well. I think Taylor has been really good in the libero position. Gillis had some early offensive production, which is really good. So we're feeling pretty good so far.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
And you know, USC having started this year, Kevin, at 0-3 in conference. I don't know if you remember the movie Princess Bride, when that guy would walk around saying inconceivable. And actually, as it turns out, yeah, because it's the Pac-12 and it's so competitive, very conceivable. But as they plumb the depths of 0-3, back they come. They get to 3-3 tonight. They keep on doing this.
And you see a full team effort hitting 3-7-3. You talk about Michael Jordan and Samantha Bricio. Well, you got Scottie Pippen back. Nwanabu playing the best of her year so far. The 12 service aces off the charts. If you have one job for Utah in this third set, you got to take care of the serve. Take care of the pass, because once you get the pass, good things are happening.
Great things are happening for Samantha Bricio. Again, 8 of those 12 service aces. are hers. And she is 2/3 of the way to a Pac-12 record. And
what's amazing what she isn't doing tonight, she's not making the errors. 0 hit errors, only 1 service errors, 8 aces to 1 error. That's a crazy ratio.
579 percentage tonight. You see the 11 kills. And those aces stacking up like Lego blocks right now. Well, Utah trying to make a statement coming out here after the intermission. Remember, Utah, great blocking team. Bricio. Might as well just put that on tape and just kind of recycle it.
So fluid, so smooth. The Karchi angle, 10-foot line to 10-foot line. That is a special hit right there. Schofield Olsen's got to be aware that that's what she wants to do there.
Gillis goes right in the net.
You know, if you look at bright spots for Utah in that first set, you got to look at the freshmen. Truman in the middle. You got Adora Nye on the right side. They're putting up solid numbers, taking good swings when they get the chance. Got a substitution in for Utah as well. We've got Eli Katoa. Hasn't seen that much playing time so far in Pac-12 conference play. Coach Lanier said that she would be one of the pin substitution patterns. Only 5'10", but very explosive.
Emily Young gets it right back to USC. And by the way, don't forget, you're always welcome to tweet along with us anytime that we're coming at you here on Pac-12 Networks, and I'm sure there are those that are jumping on the Bricio train right now. Might want to tell us in 140 characters exactly how special you think this night can be. Again, 8 service aces through 2 sets.
In the middle, there's a good look at Katoa. Parents Elizabeth and Fotu graduated from BYU.
That goes to USC.
Bateman in the net again on that swing to the outside. Haley Crone back to the set for USC. She's been having some setting issues here tonight.
A little out of sorts, huh?
Yeah, and she took that hitter off the nose last night, the bleeding nose and the gauze, and made a couple mistakes there. It's kind of carried over to tonight.
USC keeps it hot. Well, and as Utah gets it to Bailey Bateman, the Utes actually grab a lead here at 4-3 in the 3rd set.
And Truman getting on fire in the middle. The connections with Bateman as well. The 2 setters back and forth.
Now the native Californian, Segan. Grazed in the net. The return on Bricio here. Utah gets the point.
Bateman again, and what sets up that play, the perfect end block from Adora Nye. Has the size advantage versus Bricio on the right side. Times it well, and in that set you see a little bit too low, but Bateman, a senior, can be creative on those bad sets.
Utah has not had a 3-point lead at any point in this match tonight. They can get it here. Although Bricio wants to try and do something about that, it didn't quite work out, and indeed Utah has that 3-point lead at 6-3.
McHaley asking for a touch. I did not see one there. Really important plays. This would be the first time Utah can get the little lead in that cushion that we talked about.
Wanabu had it thrown right back at her. So here's Utah able to get out 7-3 in the 3rd set now.
And really interestingly, Utah putting Katoa on the right side. They want to keep Adora Nye out here on the left for Bricio. USC switch patterns now. Bricio back on the left side. Watch for Adora Nye go to the right now.
Nye wearing number 14 was huge last weekend against Arizona State. And Bricio, huge tonight.
You know, that's as big a block as Utah can throw at Bricio, but still making it look easy. These are the important points now. You expect USC to score that point now. You got to fight back because Bricio's back to serve, and you've had all sorts of trouble tonight.
Now you batten down the hatches when you see number 2 back there on the back line. If you can just take the serve away from her. Again, psychologically, that's such a lift. But it doesn't happen yet. Youngest player ever to represent Mexico on its senior national team, Samantha Bricio. Last year, she had twice as many service aces as anyone else in the Pac-12, and she did it as a sophomore. That's a rarity.
And you talk about the prowess. You got to give a lot of credit to Tim Nolan, the assistant coach. The recruiting classes they've had here, number 1 in 2010, number 2 the last 2 years, and it showed because they've had freshman of the year the last 2 years. It was Bricio 2 years ago and Wanabu the last year.
How does he sell the product so well? How does he, I mean, the Pac-12 is so competitive.
Right.
How do you go and get those ladies all to come here?
Nolan said that I went to school, I know what the strengths of USC are, and you just put USC in as good a light as you possibly can.
Well, Mick Haley's had him in great stead for years, trying to make 24 straight postseason appearances now. That one might have been heading out of bounds, but Bricio touched it.
Pretty experienced hit from the fresh, the high hands hit, very difficult. It's a moving target of the ball, a moving target of the block as well, and finding those hands.
Baton with that serve. Up for Wanabu. And the block again. Utah does that so well. Schofield Olsen with that one.
And surprising because that was the long way set from across the court. It was also the back set to Wanabu for the 3rd time in a row, but making the read. Showing block U at its blocking finest.
USC will get a serve again.
And whereas Utah's much better at the block, that's a ball that USC would have dug. USC's defense has been on point tonight. Utah really hasn't.
Utah started the year 10-0 before losing at BYU, Colorado, and Oregon State, then to number 14 Arizona as well. Lost last night to UCLA, made it 5 in their last 6 in the loss column after that 10-0 start. And again, the block, always there, it seems, for Utah.
And the celebration, you're starting to see some emotion, some energy from Utah, and it's come from some strange places. You would not expect to see that leadership, that celebration from the freshmen, Truman, Dora, and I.
Kelly Kirby goes and gets ready now, serve it away. Dropped by Alicia Odums.
How good has she been tonight? Hitting 500, solid all over the place. Really a big target, not the biggest jump, but hands up high, quick arm swing as well. Really easy to set.
We talk about how the recruiting has gone for USC. Remember, Odums is from Winnipeg. You can recruit with the weather. Right? Just tell young Ogums, hey, come on down.
And really expanding that recruiting base. It's not just the U.S. players. You've got someone from Mexico. You've got someone from Italy. You've got someone from Manitoba.
Yep, it's a cosmopolitan group here for USC. Now Bricio able to deliver and to get the women of Troy back to within 12-9. If they can rally and take this set, they take the match.
And you get the impression that Samantha Bricio is starting to shift into 5th gear.
It's been a smooth ride tonight for Bricio. There's that dig prowess you talked about. USC gains the point with Emily Young.
Anna Marie Schmidt with the dig, and then Young on the backside, that left arm target. You know, like Karstelo at UCLA, so much of an easier set than it is going all the way out to the right hand.
Well, again, Anne-Marie Schmidt diving all over the court, but couldn't quite save that one.
And really exposing maybe Samantha Bricio's one weakness, which is blocking. She was nowhere near that play.
Adolph serve. Boy, some good English on that one, but the point to USC.
And you see two contrasts. Samantha Bricio, not a great situation. Make sure she takes a little pace off, keeps the ball in play. On the other side, Shelby Dalton, that same tough situation, being too aggressive, hitting the ball wide.
Haley Crone, who had served it, saves it. And Utah able to take a 14-11 lead here in the third set.
You've got to love the fight for Utah. You know, Coach Lanier, still optimistic, still fighting, said, you know, we had a great week of practice last week. When things are going bad, you just go to work hard. That's all I know how to do.
Utah played almost an extra hour, though, last night, right, compared to what USC had against Colorado.
You talk about the extra hour plus 2 hour later start time. USC started at 6 p.m. Utah started at 8.
And Utah needing to find a way to stay in this one, doing it right now, up 15-11 in third set. Pac-12 women's volleyball has been presented by Tachikara. We've got the ball, you bring game. In LA, USC leading Utah 2-0, but here are the Utes at 15-11 in the third set. Next Saturday, there's a Buffalo Stampede in LA. Trojans against Colorado. USC battling to regain its dominance. The Buffs are hungry for a conference upset. Colorado USC from here in LA. Coverage starts next Saturday at 2 with the pregame show right here on Pac-12 Networks and Pac-12 Now. Now Utah, we talked about it last night at UCLA, falling in a fifth set, 15-13. So Utah squeaks by UCLA by 2 in football last week, and UCLA squeaks by Utah by 2 in volleyball 6 nights later. And here's Utah with some dump right now, huh, Kev?
And once again, you've got Adora, number 14 in red, following Samantha Bricio. You've got the freshman who's saying, I want the junior star on the other side.
Segan the serve. Bricio gets it back for SC. And they'll get Lauren Gillis in the game now with the women of Troy. Remember, I'm sorry, Kevin. Remember, Bricio had the 6 service aces in the first set.
Really, and this is an opportunity where she really needs to turn this on. This may be her last chance to serve in this set and needs to make it work.
Any idea what Mick Haley's talking about?
All night long, they've been the substitutions have been coming on a little bit later than the down ref would like it. They like it crisp, they like it clean, they like you to know what's going to happen before it happens.
And he does get Elise Ruddens into the match now. Haven't seen a lot of her. She's been coming back from that tonsillectomy from a few weeks ago. You don't just jump right back on the court after those.
And it has some great lineage as well. Her Aunt Kim's name is up in rafters on one of those honor jerseys up top. Was an All-American setter here at USC, also a silver medalist back in 1984.
All right, we get thumbs up. Good to go. There's from last night. The Candelas ceremony was yesterday. Boy, that's got to feel great for Utah. You take the serve right away from Bricio.
Right, and you got to give a lot of credit to Leah Adolph in the white 13 jersey right there. The best pass that any Utah Ute has made against a Bricio serve tonight.
Katoa the serve that time for Utah. Boy, and Utah, again, very energetic coming out of the intermission.
And you're seeing why Mick Haley was a little bit upset, was trying to ride his team. They're not at the level where they can cruise through these matches. In the past years, their hitting has been better. Their defense has been better. This is not the past years, though.
Jordan Dunn comes in now. That's extended playing time last night. And she'll be the energizer off the bench. Some good passing right there on the put away for Schofield Olsen. And timeout called by Mick Haley.
All of a sudden, Utah's putting it together. They've been struggling all year long on the offense, but turning it around, hitting 500 in this third set. Meanwhile, USC has been on a roll. They hit 370 the first set, 375 again in the second set, but too many errors, too many Utah blocks here in the third set.
By the way, coming up on Friday, a full slate of women's volleyball. Triple header beginning at 4. It starts the Cal Bears going up against Utah. Then Colorado hosting #1 Stanford, undefeated. Or 18th ranked Arizona State hosting also undefeated #3 Washington. Then at 8 Pacific, #11 Oregon is in LA to take on USC. That's a lot of volleyball for you. That's coming up on Friday of next week. Pac-12 Networks has you covered, and Pac-12 Now. Check Pac-12.com for games in your area. USC coming into this year had been 108-12 all time at the Galen Center. This year 1-4, and that one win was last night.
And this was a done deal for the last 3 years. You came in here, you took your loss, you left as admirably as possible, and got ready for your match against UCLA, who's been down on their luck the last few years. Now on the other side, all of a sudden, they got battles, and this USC team's got to know the secret so far has been Bricio from the service line, from the front row as well. But that's not enough to carry through a match, much less a season.
Well, she was able to shoulder the load for the first 2 sets, but not getting enough help here in the third set as Utah has got its biggest lead of the night.
Oh, wow. Bricio missing wide, but Utah in the net at the same time. So really, Mick Haley and the Trojans catching a break.
Still looking very unsettled, though, in this third set.
2 more rotations with Bricio in the back row. So really, these are their 2 worst rotations coming up.
And Jordan Dunn serves it right back to Utah.
And once again, Mick Haley jawing with the down left, didn't like the motion, not happy. Saying bad management.
Strong. Manabu.
Crone so good at the back set. The front set's been giving her trouble. That's a little easier set. This is a tough serve. Going to her knees, setting it back the long way. A lot of international experience for her. A2 U.S. national team as well. Played on that Pac-12 China All-Star team.
Flicked over by Young.
Wow, good set.
And good block, too. Boy, Utah just has a whole different energy in this third set.
A lot of it is Schofield Olsen is really starting becoming the workhorse that she has been all year long. She's a 4-year starter, been carrying the team for a lot of years, 9th all time for Utah in kills.
Wow, some pinball action. action, and USC ends up with a point.
And you know it is your night when you get blocked straight back into your face and you self-cover for a kill. This just turned lemons into lemonade.
Bricio looked shocked, like, really? Did that just happen? That was a point for us, huh?
And you see Utah all over that. They know where Bricio is at every single rotation, 3 blockers up.
Schmidt with the serve. Oh, and that one right in on Ogums. Hopefully she's going to be okay. That rattled her.
That was a blast from 8 inches away. The ball went to the rafters. That is not something you want to see.
It staggered her a little bit. Remember, yesterday it was Crone that took one at grill.
And one of the problems, if you're 6'4" and you make a perfect read, still rubbing her eyes, but that is a tough spot to be in. Only one more rotation and she gets to sit down in the back row, so USC needs this point.
Good dig from Adolph. And right towards the line, but not quite in.
Adolph, a lot of German national team and junior national team success. Won the junior national championships in 07, 09, 2011. Maybe the dig of the match for her.
And now Whittingham. Pounded down. Jordan Dunn. We talked about the potential for her to be a spark off the bench.
And she hasn't been playing much in this early conference play. Not many opportunities, but when she's had opportunities, has put up very high numbers specifically for hitting.
Now Utah wants to talk about it. Ute led by as many as 7 in this third set. Tomorrow, 2 matchup in women's volleyball. 4 ranked teams involved. At 11, be sure to see either the 11th ranked Oregon Ducks hosting number 3 Washington, or number 18 Arizona State taking on the top team in the nation, those amazing Stanford Cardinals. All the action happening tomorrow at 11 on Pac-12 Networks and Pac-12 Now. Check pac-12.com for the games in your area. 2 undefeated teams, Washington and Stanford, both playing tomorrow. The Pac-12 is amazing. How you look at the ARP guy right now. USC at 13, and just down the road at UCLA, 2 spots behind.
And you really start looking at these numbers and you think, is it possible to have 10 teams in the NCAA tournament? Last year 9, that's nearly the highest ever, but to make it into the 10 bracket, that would be a special thing.
In terms of the national rankings right now, 7 of the top 20 in the country are from the Pac-12. USC at number 20, a preseason number 5.
Good look at Pizza Segola, the Italian setter, number 12 in white. A lot of experience in the Italian club leagues. Only a sophomore, but part of the same tandem that's been starting last year as well as this year. And then there's Whittingham. What can you say about her? She has stepped in admirably for Natalie Hadlin. Active with autism causes, helping with fundraising and as well as advocating for the awareness since her younger brother was diagnosed.
That one's wide. USC, they can battle back here. They'll have their second sweep in many nights.
And really important points because Samantha Bricio 2 away from serving, so you don't want to give them any wiggle room right now.
Oh, Bricio pulled up.
And so did Anna Marie Schmidt right there. Perfect blocking assignment. Number 5, Jordan Dunn, up at the perfect time, slowing down the hit. You can't let that ball drop.
Adolph to serve it. And Bricio pounds it. Boy, Utah's had a much better answer for Bricio in this third set. Utah gets even closer now.
And it's been the defense. They have not been able to block, but Adolph in the back. Schofield Olsen in the back.
Ooh, and now Schofield Olsen running off. She was pointing at her finger.
We saw the blood making Crone have to come off the court last night. Wonder if it's also blood now from Schofield Olsen as well. She's down at the end of the bench. She's got a towel. She's going for some sort of gauze, a Band-Aid. I think it's probably a cut on that pinky finger. You know, we saw what happened last night. They gave them time to put the Band-Aid on to stop the bleeding, but the second time was when Crone actually had to come off the court and had to sit while Young came in and set.
Utah's been splitting the wealth here tonight. Just taking a look at their stats right now. They've got 1, 2, 3 different women right now with 7 kills. Schofield has 6. And it's not quite the same story for USC. It's weighted with Bricio having 18 and nobody else at 10.
And then Nwanobu right behind. So after Nwanobu and Bricio, there's a big, big gap.
Young, that power lefty. Bricio feathers it. And Bricio wins it for USC to get back to within 5.
Uncertainty from Mick Haley now, not wanting to know who he's going to put in. He's going the double sub. He's going to leave in Young to set. We've seen this a couple of times now. Typically, Haley Crone will go back there and serve and set. Instead, using the right sider, Emily Young. Wow.
That's some thunder right there.
Block the night from Jordan Dunn, just a freshman.
Well, he used to be a goalie for a soccer team in high school, and you see that up at the front of the net. USC needs to run the table here to win this set and sweep.
Callie Kirby saying that ball bounced off the foot.
Whittingham the dig. And Bricio.
Wow, threading the needle.
Bricio tries again. And again it's kept alive. Well, give Utah some credit here. Finally hits Nwanobu.
The defenses from both sides starting to get dialed in. The solid blocks at the front. Beth Lanier forced to call her second timeout.
USC had fallen down at 24-19. Seemed pretty unlikely to make a run here. They're on their way.
And they got the rotation. That's their strongest offensively. They've got both of their big hitters. They got Nwanobu on the right side. They've got Bricio on the left side. So if they can get this dig, they've got a lot of chances to put the ball away. On the other side, Utah's got to keep it simple. Take care of the pass. Spread the wealth like they've been doing all night long. You cannot key on any one hitter on the Utah side.
Utah was swept last year by USC in Salt Lake City. Trying not to get swept here tonight at the Galen Center.
You see the coaching staff, J.J. Riley on the right, Beth Lanier in the middle, Brian Doyen trying to come out with who do we want to set in a good situation. I think you got to go to your seniors. You think you got to go to your leaders.
You look at a 4th set point here.
Adora Nyes on the bench. You got to look at Dalton as an option. You got to look at Schofield Olsen as an option. Those are the two, and maybe even the middle. The middles are hitting for pretty good numbers as well tonight. Bateman at 385. Carly Truman 400. Beth Lanier has a wealth of options to run, but really no go-to hitter.
Bricio's the story early.
Dalton lined up on the right. Bateman lines up on the left. And the Katoa, who's the sub, not really known for her offense, on the left. So either going to be Bateman in the middle on good pass, maybe Dalton on the bad pass.
Tipped. Bricio, Utah. The Utes survive, sending it to a fourth set here in LA. We talked about, could they find an answer to Bricio? They finally did. It kind of took a village to get it done, but Utah finds a way, and we will have a fourth set here in LA in just a moment. Utah ended up going 5 against UCLA last night before succumbing. And USC and Utah tonight are at least heading to a fourth, Kevin Wong, because Utah found its stride in set number 3.
And the coaches walking by in either direction really told the story. You see Beth Lanier looking like she stole one in that third set. And on the other side, Mick Haley had a bad feeling. You could tell going into that last set and coming true, not being able to hit to the high level that they've been hitting all match long.
Utah hit pretty close to 400 in that third set to rally to get to 239 for the night. Those service aces, 8 to 12 for USC belonging to Bricio, but it was 6 in the first set, 2 in the second set, none in the third.
And the latter part of the third set, starting to see a crack in the armor, starting to see some mistakes from Bricio. The tight set, getting blocked. We talked about Mick Haley not wanting to kill the golden goose. Has brought so much offense, has brought so much from the service line as well, but do you want to set her 70, 80 times a match?
Utah trying to get 2 and 4, and if that happens, USC would drop to 2-4 in conference. The women of Troy, the last 4 years overall, we're talking about 29 and 5 twice, 29 and 6, 30 and 6. So to get a 7th loss overall and 4 in conference would be kind of a stunner. It just shows you depth of this conference, though. Utah was digging a lot better in that third set. Blocked the net for USC. I think it's interesting they start with Elise Rudden out there on the floor.
Right. Went to her late in that third set. Talked about having her tonsils removed 3 weeks ago, finally cleared and immediately back in the lineup here.
And it's a chance to serve it now too. Laguna Niguel, California native. Bricio absolutely smokes one.
And once again, you get the matchup, Bricio versus Dalton in the front row. You know, this is the stopper. Dalton's supposed to be the person who can block up on Bricio, but not able to stop her all night long.
Dalton's also hitting just 0-56 in the match tonight. Tipped a couple times, so it's got to go over right there. Bricio finds the seam.
You know, and I liked actually Adora not matching up better against Bricio. Bricio able to hit right over the Utah block, not as big on the outside. You talked about it. You look at their lineup, it's 6'1", 6'1", 6'1". Adora's got 6'2", plus she's got some long arms.
Utah will win back.
Carly Truman, Coach Lanier says she's as good an athlete as Utah ever has.
Utah's got 3 of the top 10 in Pac-12 blocks. And Truman is among that group. Young had it blocked back down at her.
And the sub, we talked about a sub for USC. The sub for Utah has been Katoa and getting her first block. Not doing great offensively, but taking care of the ball, passing, playing defense.
Schofield Olsen with that serve. And a big hit from Ogums.
And the secret of that set is so quick. By the time Ogums is hitting the ball, the block isn't even left the ground.
Whittingham will be able to serve it now. The sophomore libero. Whoa, it twirled over.
Special defensive plays, both sides. Adolph with the save on the pancake, and then Callie Kirby hitting it right off the tape for the trickle down. That's a great hustles. Carly Truman, great reactions in the middle.
Adolph, however, goes into the net.
You can tell a lot about Truman and her athleticism. Her hobby, she enjoys dirt biking, snowboarding, fishing, and hiking.
She's an outdoorsman too. Haley Crone, avid horse rider. She's home in the Temecula Valley outside San Diego.
And Eliza, an absolute spark plug off the bench. Only 5'10", the smallest pin hitter out on the court, but so much athleticism. We see the big jump. She enrolled early, spring of 2014, so even she's a freshman, she's really got the full cycle of training so far.
From Layton, Utah. Turned back around by Katoa. Wow, Utah. You know, it's fun to think that they're the team that had the 2.5-hour match last night.
Right, and you're seeing the energy, you're seeing the fight. Perfect timing. Block you starting to get the block back.
Getting a lot of production when Deegan has been serving tight. Whittingham diving to keep it alive. Oh, that on the inside, Bricio, the most casual shot she's hit all night.
And that's right in the seam between Chelsea Schofield-Olsen and Leah Adolph. If you're the libero Adolph, that's your ball all the time. Anything close, you take. Number one rule for liberos.
That just gets it to Bricio, who can serve you some points. Again, the blocks piling up now for Utah. Good save.
Segan, very creative setting, not really going with the easy set all the time. Very distinguished prep career, All-American for club at T Street, down Orange County.
And now Katoa. USC wins back to serve.
And both USC subs making a difference. Elise Rudden with the perfect pass, and Jordan Dunn, your soccer goalie, getting up quick in the middle and putting it down.
Rudden's and Dunn, a couple of important players off the bench here tonight, no doubt. Dunn, Corona, California, and that's simply a mishit.
You know, we talked about all the great recruiting classes that Mick Haley's had, but he said, you know, it's an investment. We have 11 freshmen and sophomores, and it takes time to develop them. You're starting to see that development happening here.
Utah needing that. They got it from Schofield-Olsen. But you bring up a great point about you're looking at 15 players on the roster, 11 of them for USC, either freshmen or sophomores, and they're still a top 20 unit right now. Again, a preseason for 5. Big hit. Ogums has been very strong tonight.
In the vision, you had 2.5 blockers up for Utah. You've got Schofield-Olsen, you've got Truman in the middle, and then Adornay actually helping as well. Ogums seeing the court, seeing the block, and finding the open spot.
Native Texan Ebony Wanabu now serving it for USC. And Utah hits it too strong.
And Anai's getting tired. Carried a big burden, 18 kills last night.
Right.
Late night has got a lot of burden tonight as well, and you're just seeing not the same quality of swings now in the fourth set that she had in the first set.
Well, you saw a big kind of general flicker of life in that third set from Utah, but I'm with you, Kevin. You just wonder if they can sustain it now at that long night last night. A lot of backline diving. And USC is starting to feel it right now.
You know, this is the time you got to start going to your experience. You got to start going to your leader. And Chelsea Schofield-Olsen, she's your senior. She's your outside hitter. Start feeding your go-to.
Utah doesn't have the deep bench that USC does, right? Their rotation is...
The one option that we thought we might see at substitute, we've seen Kakoa, and right now really Beth Lanier, no options except to call the timeout and stop the bleeding.
Yeah, and just hang on for dear life. USC in the fourth set, up by 5.
Feel great. No room in here for someone.
USC up 12-7 in the fourth set against Utah. Let's talk a little football for you. USC taking on Colorado next Saturday. That'll be live from LA, starting at 2 o'clock a week from today. A pregame show right here on Pac-12 Network and Pac-12 Now. McKaylee, at 71 years old, as active, as spry as any 35-year-old would be on the sidelines. And he's just trying to make sure that his women can finish up here. A little stumble in the third set tonight.
And talk about Haley, again, his 38th season overall, still staying relevant. He was as recent as 2011 Coach of the Year. This is a guy who's won 4 national championships. Last year, he was a swing away from going back to the Final Four. They hosted University of Washington on this very floor. 14-13 in the fifth, and missing the swing by 2 inches and missing their chance to return back to the Final Four.
Cal Kirby, only 5'7". Brizio gets up. And a put away, Utah with Shelby Dalton.
And you see the athleticism from Dalton turning it back to the line. We've seen her in the middle, we've seen her on the left, on the right. It makes sense. She was a multi-sport star in high school, center on the basketball team, state champion, pitcher and shortstop on the softball team as well.
Nice job by Katoa to save it. It looked like Brizio was bracing, getting set, but got tipped away from her by Whittingham.
And you're seeing Dalton with the plan B. She's been hitting a lot of cross-court all match long, and it's been getting dug. This time turning it back down the line, only hitting 136.
Into that, though, goes Callie Kirby. She had a double-double last night in Malibu against UCLA, 28 assists and 10 dig. But turns back over here, and Schmidt will ratchet it up for USC. As much as we kind of muse, Kevin, about Utah not having the legs to see this through, I'm pretty impressed at how they're hanging in there.
And it's the senior leadership, right? The fatigue is going to affect the younger players more. They're not as strong. They're not as fit. Haven't had as many years in the training program. Schofield-Olsen has.
Well, and as we talk about what USC can do to counter it, They're starting to really spread it out now. It's not just Samantha Bricio's show. You see Ogans right there. We've seen Jordan Dunn off the bench. Elise Rudden's off the bench.
Lotzen Wanhu on the right.
Utah will get that serve back now.
Maybe Wingham, the libero for USC, maybe her first error of the night. It wasn't the easiest dig. It was that long tip down the line, but she's been making that play all night long.
She's averaged 4 digs per set these last few weeks. There's a surprise. That one just kind of dropped in and said hello to get Utah back to within a point. 2-1. USC took the first 2. Utah the third set. Well, and even though Bricio is not completely putting him away like she was early, everything is kind of staying high for her teammates to jump in.
And you're never in system because you're running high off the court, they're high hands, and you're having to make these scramble plays, and then you get very predictable offense. Katoa up against a very big USC block.
That was Haley Cohn's serve. Now she'll set it for Bricio, who got it.
And once again, it's that same scene. The prior play was the little roll ball, the real little down ball. That time, not a huge swing. Adolph's got to really step in and take that ball.
32 points for Bricio tonight. USC is blocking well now, too.
And really the sign of their serving prowess. They're getting Utah to make the bad pass off the net. Their offense all of a sudden becomes very predictable, going to maybe their least offensive player, Katoa, on the left. Good matchup for USC.
USC, the deeper team, and of course the home team tonight. They're a more well-rested team. Right now they're a team on top by 5, and the timeout called by Beth Lanier. Remember, coming out of the last timeout, Utah actually rolled out with a couple of quick points. They're going to need that absolutely in just a moment.
Really, the big question is how they can sustain it. We've seen a lot of emotion, a lot of energy from Utah, but is it sustainable? Because this is a conference that is tough, top to bottom, with a lot of teams that really have great offensive packages.
Yeah, a conference that we'll talk about. The University of Washington giving you a player of week, and not just once this year. I know UCLA's Carstello is always in contention too, but Kristen Sant twice now has been conference player of the week on the offensive side.
The reigning player of the year nationally, took her team to the Final Four and really has a complete package. She got the power game. She's got the finesse game as well. Her defense in the back row, her passing really is the complete player.
If she's going to be unseated for this weekend, Samantha Bricio looks like she's got the inside edge.
Carstello had a monster match as well, 30 kills against Utah just last night.
Bricio would be 30-plus back-to-back matches now. Look at Utah's upcoming schedule. Can't really even say that Cal is a break, because Cal is talented, but then you got Stanford and Washington back-to-back.
No easy outs. Coach Beth Lanier, you see her, has such the great attitude, such maturity, really like what she's done with this program. She had it easy back in the day, right? They were in the regional conference, Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year 2004, 2006, 2008, and all of a sudden she got handled a different deck of cards. Said, welcome to the Pac-12 Conference.
Or again, currently 7 of the top 20 teams in the nation reside. Well, Utah coming out of the break this time, unable to grab momentum back. In fact, it's the opposite as USC takes the lead by a half dozen. Crone has been on that back line for a while now. Looking on the potential for 5 straight points for her. Set to the far side, and Utah needed it. Utah got it.
Katoa, 5'10", big jump and a high flat swing as well. Not what you're expecting to see from the sub off the bench. You just hope to have someone who's just going to make the small plays, but really a big part of the offense here in the fourth set.
Got the best vertical leap on the team. Young Miss Katoa. Thrown down. That's Jordan Dunn. Fresh legs for her. Remember, she didn't even play in the first two sets.
And really Dunn coming in. We also saw Ruddins as well, giving that fresh legs to Mick Haley. That was a ball that Bateman should have been up on the block. She just kind of watched that play develop.
Chance for Bricio to bookend this match when you think about it. It all started with her and her serving prowess. It could end now with her doing the same thing. Ooh, although she's wide with that one.
And the crazy thing about that conversation is you're not supposed to be able to go back and serve 4 or 5 times in a row. It's supposed to be the advantage to the receiving team, but Bricio really a game changer when you think.
Remember, 6 of the first 10 points for USC tonight were on Bricio aces. Utah starting to feel it a little bit now too, back to within 4.
And bringing the emotion, the freshman Dora Nye. That first ball should have been done for sure, but Whittingham popping it up and making a Nye have to take a second swing.
Question is, was it on the line? It was real close, but it's Utah's point.
And Mick Haley doesn't like the answer. He keeps on pointing down, and that was in, and USC going to Bricio even when she's in the back row.
And that's into the net, so USC goes up 21-17. And Ogums comes back in. That could be big for USC, get her up front.
That's the offense that USC's had in that front row with Bricio in the back row. Wannaboot, couple of tired swings right there, maybe pushing her conditioning as well a little bit here.
Boy, both these teams are going to be ready to take a deep breath after this one's over tonight. USC gets a little closer.
Jordan Dunn, she's supposed to be a front row player. She's supposed to be a person who hits well. One of those young investments, but going back and serving the BBs and getting a late set ace.
He's hitting close to 400 for the year, doing a lot of things well.
Really like this play from Segan. I saw her do it quite a few times over the last couple weeks. It's kind of the change-up, it's kind of the draw play. Quarterback calling their own number.
Just a little flick right over the net. Bateman serve. And there's a little feather from USC. Emily Young literally skipped back into the game now for the women of Troy.
Ogums has been going power game throughout the night. This time throwing the changeup, finding a lot of open space right there in the middle of that court.
A little teardrop right there for a 5-point USC lead. USC digging well all night. Into the net, and again, you just wonder if Utah's legs are starting to desert them now.
A couple of plays. We saw Bateman one just like that. This time Truman. Utah gutted it out, but do they have enough?
USC, which started 0-3 in conference, can pull back to 3-3 in conference. And they've done it. Wannabu the winner. And a tough trip to California for the Utah Utes as they lose 3-2 to UCLA, 3-1 to USC. Although you give the Utes some credit for hanging in after a long, tough match last night.
Great leadership from Beth Lanier, really pushing all the right buttons, but not enough horses, not enough energy really tapping into the emotion. It wasn't enough tonight. On the other side, you saw USC fighting. USC spreading the offense. You saw Wanabu on the right side. You saw Ogums in the middle. And, of course, you saw the bookends of Samantha Bricio starting off the match with flair and finishing off the match as well.
Utah gets some credit for grabbing that third set and looking very lively for a while in the fourth set. Just too much USC, and maybe they got that home court advantage thing set up again.
And what turned out to be Mick Haley called a must-win situation turned into exactly that for the reality when back-to-back matches really righting the ship early on in this Pac-12 conference play.
Oregon State and Washington State are next. And we hope that one's as exciting or even close as this one was tonight. USC ends up winning it 3-1 is the final tonight for Kevin Wong, Josh Lewin. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Off to Oregon State we go for more Pac-12 volleyball on the Pac-12 Network.